What if the world's oceans were once ruled so completely by a single navy that its dominance shaped the fate of continents and then vanished almost entirely, only to rise again, more powerful and cunning than ever? For nearly 200 years, the Royal British Navy was unmatched, its flag flying over seas that fueled the vast expansion of an empire. But after almost a century slipping into the shadows, Britain's naval might is roaring back. Leading this resurgence is the cutting-edge Type 26 frigate, a vessel built to hunt the deadliest underwater threats. Yet Britain is no longer sailing these waters alone. Norway has just joined Canada and Australia in a massive commitment to the Type 26, signaling a new era of military cooperation between the UK and its Nordic allies. This partnership isn't just about ships, it's a strategic masterstroke in NATO's tense game of Arctic dominance over Russia. Why does this matter now? Let's dive into the tides of history and explore the powerful currents shaping tomorrow's naval battles. Back in the late 1600s, Britannia had the seas under lock and key. The Royal Navy was the world's undisputed maritime force for centuries, guiding an empire that stretched across continents. But that reign started to crumble during the chaos of World War II, when the United States stormed onto the stage as a new sea power. At the height of its glory, in 1892, Britain crafted over 80% of all commercial ships worldwide. Even into the 1950s, 1 out of every 4 ships launched bore the mark of British craftsmanship. Then, the shipbuilding landscape collapsed. Post-war America revolutionized production with mass assembly lines and advanced welding, leaving Britain's smaller docks and slow-moving yards struggling and many shuttering. By 2025, the UK was responsible for less than 1% of global new ships. But now the sleeping giant stirs. Especially in military shipbuilding, Britain is harnessing new technology, spearheaded by the sleek, next-level Type 26 frigate. This warship is designed primarily for one chilling purpose: hunting enemy submarines beneath the ice-cold Arctic waves. Its arrival could place Britain's naval factories back on their throne among world powers and bolster NATO forces trying desperately to keep Russia's undersea fleet in check. Norway's bold announcement in August 2025 that it will acquire at least 5 Type 26 ships sends a seismic message. Along with Canada and Australia, Norway becomes the 4th NATO nation casting its lot with this advanced frigate. Meanwhile, the UK is negotiating deals with Denmark and Sweden, although those focus on a different vessel, the Type 31 Arrowhead 140, an all-rounder warship. But when it comes to the high-stakes submarine hunting game, the Type 26 stands alone, its technology and design unmatched. This shared fleet offers more than hardware, it builds a network where data, radar, sonar, and secrets flow freely between allies. Anti-submarine warfare in the North Atlantic is no solo mission, it demands seamless teamwork amid roaring engines, splashing cold spray, and tension tightening like a wire on icy decks. Partnering with Australia in the Indo-Pacific theater. The UK also plans to scale up joint efforts, turning the Type 26 into a global tool of powerful defense. The Norwegian contract alone is staggering, valued at $13.5 billion. It marks the country's most expensive defense investment ever. Each ship is priced around $1.59 billion, but the bulky price tag hints at extras, training, armaments, long-term support, and more. To care for these giants, a specialized covered docking facility will rise in Harstad, northern Norway, breathing new life into local shipyards in collaboration with BAE Systems, the heart of Type 26 production. This deal fits perfectly into the rapidly strengthening bond between Britain and Norway. Since February 2025, the two governments have been drafting a strategic pact set to deepen military cooperation. Once signed, detailed negotiations with BAE will lay out the construction and delivery timelines. This partnership signals far-reaching industrial synergy, focused mainly on dominating the seas against Russia's northern fleet. Britain has long been a key military partner for Norway, alongside the US, Sweden, Finland, and Germany. Back in December 2024, Prime Ministers Jonas Gahr Støre and Sir Keir Starmer signed a declaration propelling security collaboration forward, emphasizing joint efforts in NATO and the UK-led Joint Expeditionary Force. Their shared mission targets protection of the northern flank, countering hybrid warfare, and defending crucial underwater infrastructure in the North Sea. Before this, their military engagement mostly involved combined exercises on Norwegian soil. With the UK's elite commando forces training alongside Royal Marines, sailors, and pilots. They've hunted Russian submarines together, using P-8 aircraft patrols. Norway even deploys its current frigates to join British carrier strike groups operating in the Indo-Pacific, trained for battles both near the Arctic Rim and far across the ocean. But the Type 26 purchase takes this alliance into uncharted waters. Norway's swift choice to partner with the UK over France, Germany, or the US during tender evaluations speaks volumes. It reflects not just confidence in British naval technology but Norway's commitment to a full military overhaul and to backing words with action. With NATO members pledging to boost defense budgets to 5% of GDP by 2035, Norway stands apart. Its massive sovereign wealth fund, fueled by oil and gas revenues, means it can pour billions into defense without breaking its economy. This financial muscle almost certainly tipped the scales in favor of the more advanced and more expensive Type 26 compared to rivals like the French FDI frigate. For Norway, these warships are just one piece of a grand modernization plan. They intend to replace their entire fleet with 28 new ships built on a common hull design. 2 more German U-212CD submarines will fully replace aging vessels. This extensive program started before the recent NATO spending drives and aims to double military budgets between 2022 and 2025, completing a full overhaul by 2036. It's a clear message: Norway is ready for the challenges ahead. This shift also marks a new chapter for Norway's navy. Tracing roots back over a millennium to the Viking-era Ladang system, and formally established as a modern force in 1814 after separating from Denmark, Norway's naval history runs deep but quiet. Left with a modest fleet after that split, Norway now commands a compact but ferocious navy, tailored for navigating and defending its rugged, fjord-carved 63,000-mile coastline, second longest in the world. Rather than massive surface giants, Norway favors smaller, faster vessels built to dominate these complex, rough waters. Their current largest ships are 5 frigates of the Fridtjof Nansen class, commissioned since the early 2000s. The arrival of the Type 26 promises to push this force into a new era of unmatched capability, especially when the Arctic's icy waters grow hotter with geopolitical conflict. The question lingers: will this revival of British naval prowess and the bold Norwegian leap reshape the fragile balance of power on the world's coldest frontiers? As new vessels slip silently beneath the waves, and alliances deepen like never before, the stakes have never been higher. The silent war beneath the Arctic ice is about to heat up, and the outcome could redefine naval power for generations to come. In a groundbreaking development, Norway recently unveiled its decision to acquire at least 5 advanced Type 26 frigates from the United Kingdom. This move positions Norway as the 4th NATO member to incorporate these state-of-the-art vessels into its naval fleet, joining the ranks of the UK, Canada, and Australia. The significance of this procurement cannot be understated. It represents a pivotal moment in military cooperation and collective defense strategies among NATO allies. As the UK embarks on negotiations for more significant naval contracts with Denmark and Sweden, the focus shifts slightly. These discussions are reportedly centered on another impressive vessel, the Type 31 Arrowhead 140, which takes aim at versatility across various maritime missions. However, the Type 26 frigates promise to revolutionize anti-submarine warfare, enhancing collaboration among allied nations. The synergy between shared data, sensor technologies, and expertise will fortify tactical operations in the North Atlantic and the Arctic, where underwater threats loom large. This monumental deal, valued at approximately $13.5 billion, marks the most substantial armaments initiative in Norway's history. Each ship is estimated to cost around $1.59 billion, indicating that the total investment will likely include invaluable training and maintenance support from BAE Systems, the ship's primary manufacturer. A new covered docking facility is set to be constructed in Harstad, ensuring secure and efficient operation of these advanced warships. Norway and the UK are poised to finalize a binding agreement, paving the way for an extensive strategic partnership focused on maritime dominance and countering the menacing northern fleet of Russia. This comprehensive alliance promises to enhance not just specific naval capabilities but also the resilience and security of the NATO alliance as a whole. The collaborative efforts extend into sophisticated training and technology sharing frameworks, ensuring that each member nation is equipped to face the challenges lurking in the frigid waters of the North. While the deal hinges on numerous contract negotiations ahead, it opens a new chapter in military cooperation destined to redefine strategic maritime operations. The British and Norwegian governments are on the brink of sealing a binding strategic partnership, a process that started in February 2025. What could a single handshake mean for the balance of power in the cold north? Both sides will soon sit with BAE Systems, hammering out delivery schedules for a fleet of cutting-edge warships. The air smells of fresh paint and sea salt, a reminder that steel will soon bite the waves. Will the timetable unlock a new era of dominance, or spark a race no one can win? The previous chapters set the stage for an agreement that will shape tomorrow's naval theater. Can a partnership forged in diplomacy survive the roar of submarines beneath the ice? Industrial pacts will weave the defense industries of Britain and Norway tighter than any rope. The focus sharpens on maritime security and on containing Russia's northern fleet. The United Kingdom already ranks among Norway's top military allies, alongside the United States, Sweden, Finland, and Germany. In December 2024, Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre and Britain's leader Sir Keir Starmer signed a declaration of strategic partnership. The document calls for deeper NATO cooperation and stronger ties within the UK-led Joint Expeditionary Force, which includes other Nordic, Baltic, and Dutch forces. Special attention lands on the northern flank, where hybrid threats loom and critical subsea infrastructure trembles in the North Sea. Historically, the two nations trained together in Norway's rugged terrain, fielding the United Kingdom Commando Force, Royal Marines, Royal Navy and Royal Air Force in joint exercises. They also hunted Russian submarines with coordinated P-8 patrols. Norwegian frigates now sail within British carrier strike groups in the Indo-Pacific, rehearsing for northern operations. The new Type 26 frigate deal adds an unexpected layer to this collaboration. Norway's quick choice of the UK, beating competitors from France, Germany, and the United States, signals a bold pledge to revamp its forces over the next decade. It also proves Norway's willingness to back words with spending. Earlier in 2025, NATO members pledged to lift defense budgets to 5% of GDP by 2035. Will the arrival of these high-tech hunters tilt the icy chessboard in Europe's favor, or will they provoke a frozen confrontation that could shatter the Arctic's fragile peace? Norway is poised to amplify its military capabilities, embarking on an ambitious journey towards complete revitalization over the next decade. This commitment reflects a robust economic strategy, especially as NATO partners set a challenging goal of raising defense spending to 5% of GDP by 2035. While many nations struggle to meet previous agreements of 2%, battling stagnant growth and rising inflation, Norway stands apart. Thanks to its prudent establishment of a sovereign wealth fund, fueled by hydrocarbon exports, Norway possesses the resources to significantly increase defense spending without the economic strain that plagues its allies. This financial advantage played a crucial role in its decision to procure the state-of-the-art Type 26 frigate over alternatives like the French frigate de défense ETD Intervention. The Type 26 is not just an impressive vessel, it is specially designed for high-tech submarine hunting, making it a strategic asset amid growing global tensions. The additional 5 Type 26s are a key element in Norway's ambitious military modernization program, which aims to replace its entire fleet with 28 new vessels built from a unified hull design. This sweeping upgrade isn't merely a reaction to past agreements. It's a comprehensive strategy to counter the formidable Russian Northern Fleet, with plans to double defense spending between 2022 and 2025 while overhauling military infrastructure by 2036. As the narrative unfolds, picture Norway's majestic fjords juxtaposed with the roaring engines of advanced ships. Can this small nation truly emerge as a military powerhouse, ready to face adversaries head-on? The air crackles with an energy that promises a new chapter in maritime defense. What will be the repercussions of these decisions for NATO and the balance of power in the Arctic? The stage is set for a geopolitical game with high stakes and extraordinary consequences. The clock is ticking, and the world watches in anticipation. Previously, we explored Norway's bold commitment to dramatically raise its defense spending. This effort, aimed at countering growing threats, includes a full-scale military transformation stretching to 2036. Now, we dive deeper into how this strategy reshapes the Royal Norwegian Navy, the RNON, and what history reveals about its evolution.
Have you ever wondered how a naval force born over 1,000 years ago still influences today's cutting-edge military? The roots of the Arnoan reach back to the ancient Ladang system, a Viking-era coastal defense first set up by King Haakon the Good in 955. Imagine the salty air, the creak of wooden ships, and the rugged Norse warriors readying themselves against threats from sea and land. This legacy shaped Norway's maritime traditions long before modern navies existed. Fast forward over 850 years to April 12, 1814. At this crossroads, Prince Christian Frederick carved out a new identity for Norway's fleet from the broken remains of the Dano-Norwegian Navy. Back then, Denmark and Norway shared a crown and a navy, but the split left Norway with far less, only 39 officers, 16 small brigs and schooners, 46 gun shallops, and 51 gun barges. The fleet was modest, fragile, and a shadow of its former self. But today, the scene is dramatically different. The Royal Norwegian Navy has transformed from a minimal force into a nimble powerhouse, specially designed for the fierce, narrow waters cutting through Norway's labyrinth of fjords and islands. Stretching over 63,000 miles, that's more coastline than almost any other country on Earth except Canada, this terrain demands speed, precision, and versatility. The Arnoan answers that call with a fleet focused on smaller, highly mobile vessels rather than a few colossal warships. The backbone of this modern force features 5 Fridtjof Nansen-class frigates, commissioned between 2006 and 2011. These warships are not just steel and firepower, they carry NH-90 maritime helicopters darting like seagulls over the rolling waves, armed with anti-submarine torpedoes and a lethal cocktail of Norwegian and American missile systems. Powerful yet elegant, they patrol Norway's coasts quietly but effectively. Equipped to dominate the challenging northern maritime environment, these ships represent an intersection of history and modernity. But the true edge lies in Norway's fleet of small and deadly fast attack craft. Swift, stealthy, and relentless, these vessels can strike and vanish in the coastal maze, embodying the very Viking spirit from which the Arnoan descends. The Navy organizes itself into 3 main components: the fleet, the Coast Guard, and several key bases scattered across the rugged northern landscape. Håkonsvern, near Bergen, serves as the Navy's main hub. Further north, Ramsund houses special operations and marines, preparing for the most demanding missions. Trondheimsfjord in Harstad commands the coastal rangers, masters of reconnaissance and defense of the fjords. Sortland Naval Base hosts the Coast Guard's northern squadron, tasked with patrol and protection. This network of bases, ports, and ships is engineered for resilience and adaptability, ready to confront looming threats in the Arctic and beyond. But what does this mean for Norway's future role on the global stage? Will its investments position it as a key player safeguarding vital maritime pathways? And how will these small, agile warships perform against the increasingly sophisticated threats prowling beneath the waves? The answers lie ahead, but one thing is clear: Norway's naval legacy is no relic. It is a living, breathing force, awakening with renewed purpose against a backdrop of icy waters and geopolitical tension. What secrets do these frigid seas hide? And how will the Arnoan's modern fleet master them? For nearly 200 years, the Royal British Navy was a formidable force on the world's oceans, a pillar behind the expansion of the British Empire. Fast forward to today, the tide is turning as this once dominant maritime power begins to assert itself anew. The catalyst for this resurgence? Its advanced Type 26 submarine hunting frigate. But interestingly, this revitalization doesn't just benefit the United Kingdom. Norway has stepped into the fray, making a significant order for these state-of-the-art frigates, joining Canada and Australia in a triumvirate of modern naval forces. This collaboration signals a strengthening of ties between the UK and its Scandinavian allies, thereby injecting new life into Britain's shipbuilding sector. More crucially, it positions NATO as a more unified front against Russia's expanding ambitions, particularly in the contentious Arctic region. With the North becoming a geological chessboard, the implications of such military advancements are profound and unsettling. Why is this transformation crucial now? Historically, the Royal Navy was unrivaled. Its dominance was challenged only in World War II, marking the beginning of its decline. In 1892, the UK's share of global shipbuilding dominated at over 80%. Yet, by 2025, it plummeted to less than 1%. The current revival is predominantly driven by demand in military shipbuilding, particularly with the game-changing Type 26 frigate poised to reclaim Britain's position as a naval powerhouse. Yet, that's not all. Norway's announcement in August 2025 of procurement could be pivotal. It aims to acquire at least 5 Type 26 frigates. The deal is monumental, worth approximately $13.5 billion, marking Norway's most significant military investment to date. Each frigate is projected to cost around $1.59 billion. But there's more beneath the surface. The agreement includes valuable extras, training, ongoing support, and possibly even weaponry. This investment suggests that Norway is not merely enhancing its military, it's preparing for something greater, a robust counterpoint to Russian military activity. This partnership is not a mere transactional relationship. It broadens the operational capabilities of the UK and Norway drastically. By cooperating on these naval vessels, they can share invaluable resources, training, and intelligence. With an effective network in the North Atlantic, these nations will be sharper and more connected than ever before, creating a near-invincible barrier against threats in the Arctic. Norway has embarked on an aggressive revitalization of its military. Choosing the Type 26 over other models underscores a new commitment to defend its extensive coastline, over 63,000 miles long, the second largest in the world. Indeed, Norway's shift toward smaller, agile vessels, like the Skjold-class fast attack craft, raises eyebrows. These vessels dart through the fjords at over 60 knots, making them formidable in combat, capable of launching missiles before disappearing from the radar. The modernization extends beyond just ships. The Royal Norwegian Navy's large-scale upgrade includes not only securing 5 Type 26 frigates but also overhauling its entire fleet. This means new mine-clearing vessels, upgraded coastal ranger operations, and a general restructuring focused on countering potential threats effectively. As Europe stands on the precipice of a new era, with NATO reassessing its strategy and resources, Norway's aggressive naval advancements could redefine the balance of power. In this evolving tale of alliances, what happens next? Will these nations hold true to their commitments in the face of mounting global tensions, or could their plans unravel? With the specter of Russian expansion looming over the Arctic, the stakes have never been higher. The world watches closely as these storied nations reshape their military destinies against a backdrop of historical dominance and contemporary peril. In a stunning development for military maritime capabilities, Norway has announced its decision to procure at least 5 of the advanced British Type 26 frigates. This monumental choice signifies Norway's largest single military investment in history, amounting to a staggering $13.5 billion. This strategic acquisition not only bolsters Norway's defense but also marks a groundbreaking moment for the UK, as it is the most significant warship export deal for Britain since the end of World War II. But what does this really mean for the Royal Navy and NATO? The implications are deeply intertwined with international security and military collaboration. As BAE Systems gears up to produce these ships, with expectations of delivering them annually after the initial builds, the excitement is palpable. Imagine a network of 400 British companies coming together to support this effort, enhancing the economy while improving defense capabilities. Each frigate will be equipped to deploy a full crew and specialized equipment or can facilitate a drone weighing up to 330 pounds. Furthermore, the Royal Norwegian Navy is investing in autonomous mine countermeasures to significantly augment its naval deterrence strategies. Amid rising tensions, these advancements are not simply a response to threats, they symbolize a revitalization of Britain's naval prowess and a commitment to collaborative defense solutions. However, amidst this optimism, the UK must navigate the complex logistics of delivering these advanced vessels. What happens if production falters? What if internal pressures mount? The stakes are high. And the pressure is on. The race against time to fulfill these contracts could redefine the landscape of maritime defense for years to come. As this saga unfolds, can Norway successfully modernize its navy while solidifying alliances? The next chapter in this military partnership will reveal whether this bold investment will truly enhance security or if unforeseen challenges lie ahead. Stay tuned, for the journey into this maritime renaissance is only just beginning. Earlier we noted that the UK must juggle its Type 26 rollout amid political pressure, with BAE already constructing the first 5 frigates for the Royal Navy. Imagine a colossal steel snake coiled along the Clyde, its hull gleaming under a cold Scottish mist, while a sovereign nation demands its first of these monsters by the very year it is only just being born. Can a single shipyard stretch its muscles fast enough to hand over a war-ready frigate before the clock strikes 2028, or will the delicate dance of allies crumble under the weight of steel and schedule? Production hums at BAE's dockyards on the Clyde River, just outside Glasgow, where the Norwegian hulls will also take shape. The first of those vessels is slated for delivery in 2028, yet Norway has insisted the inaugural ship arrive that same year. This forces a reshuffle. At least one frigate destined for the Royal Navy must be diverted to the Royal Norwegian Navy, most likely the third hull, HMS Belfast, or the fourth, HMS Birmingham. A sharp clang of rivets echoes through Scotsdown, marking the bottleneck in the fitting-out phase. Skilled hands are few, and the integration of complex weapons, sensors, and combat systems stalls the cadence. Navy Lookout, an independent Royal Navy-focused source, points to Camo Laird in Birkenhead, Ferguson Marine in Port Glasgow, and ANP in the Tyne as likely beneficiaries of extra subcontracts. These firms would need to forge additional ship blocks, bolstering BAE's Govan facilities. BAE has already poured significant investment into modernizing those yards. Yet whether the production rhythm can be accelerated remains uncertain. From the British perspective, the Royal Navy's urgent need for new frigates makes any delay in replacing the aging Type 23s politically volatile. However, the equation is not zero-sum. Norwegian Type 26s will hunt the same Russian submarines in the high north, mirroring Royal Navy tasks. Strategic and economic gains from swapping a delivery slot with Norway outweigh the short-term domestic loss. If BAE can ramp up output and economies of scale kick in, these delivery snags may smooth over. Yet an ambitious timetable guarantees further bottlenecks unless the labor and supply chain constraints are resolved. Will the pressure on skilled fitters and subcontractors force a critical rethink of the entire build schedule, jeopardizing the Royal Navy's anti-submarine ambitions? After a remarkable period of historical dominance, Norway is taking giant strides in rejuvenating its naval capabilities with an ambitious procurement plan. As the Royal Navy and Norway both look forward to receiving their Type 26 frigates by 2035, the stakes couldn't be higher. Will this strategic shift mark a turning point in naval prowess against rising tensions? In the icy waters of the North Atlantic, expectations are running high. Norway has committed to strengthening its fleet with advanced warships designed for multi-role operations, including the crucial mission of submarine hunting. The Type 26, a robust vessel weighing 6,900 tons and stretching 492 feet, is built for the modern battlefield, equipped with cutting-edge technology that refuses to back down. It boasts 24 Mk-41 vertical launch cells, ready to unleash air defense missiles and Tomahawk cruise missiles, while its anti-submarine capabilities are formidable. The Type 26's sonar system, featuring the Thales S-2087 towed sonar, also known as Captus 4, offers an impressive detection range of up to 93 miles. Paired with Ultra Electronics Type 2150 sonar, it becomes a true predator in hunting submarines lurking beneath the waves. Meanwhile, each ship is poised to deploy a specialized anti-submarine helicopter. But, not everything is straightforward. Both Canada's Hunter-class and Australia's River-class frigates ordered through this initiative are tailored differently, designed with significant modifications yet retaining about 70% of their core architecture from the original. This adaptation comes with challenges, particularly as delivery schedules seem ambitious. The complexities of integrating advanced technology might lead to unforeseen delays. As BAE Systems ramps up production, will they manage to smooth out any potential bottlenecks and deliver these essential vessels on time? There's much at stake, as the clock ticks down. Will the results of this modern naval renaissance deliver a robust impact on NATO strategies against a backdrop of heightened geopolitical friction, and how will the dynamics change in the Arctic? As the waters grow more treacherous, both friends and foes are watching closely. The overarching question remains: in an era where naval power can shift the balance of world influence, can Norway's investment in these formidable Type 26 frigates reshape the future of its maritime defense strategy?
Previously, we explored how the Hunter and River-class ships, though distinct, still rely heavily on the Type 26's core architecture. Its power systems, propulsion, and flight decks all echo that base model. Crucially, neither Canada nor Australia dared alter the Type 26's stealth secrets, which are drawn directly from nuclear submarine design. This vessel is a master of underwater invisibility. But what makes it so silent and deadly in the depths? Imagine a warship that doesn't just glide but whispers through the water. The hull itself is sculpted to slice through currents with almost no noise footprint. Each frame inside the ship is custom shaped to minimize turbulence, an invisible signature beneath the waves. No two beams are identical because even the smallest ripple can betray its location to enemy sonar. Every noisy culprit on board engines, pumps, ventilation fans has been carefully re-engineered or shackled in soundproof cages. Vibrations don't just stop at the machinery, they are crushed where pipes and wiring meet the hull, thanks to layers of rubber dampers. Even the firefighting system bucks tradition by using giant pressurized tanks filled with a special foam, avoiding noisy pumps and enabling the crew to smother fires silently from miles away. This obsessive attention to stealth turns the Type 26 into something more than a ship. It becomes a ghost beneath the ocean, able to detect enemy submarines first and stay hidden. This ship's prowess alarms the Russian Northern Fleet, whose icy stronghold in the Arctic is suddenly under threat. The Arctic's silent chess match has just shifted, but can Russia adapt, or is this the beginning of a new underwater supremacy? Previously, we saw how the Type 26 frigate's cutting-edge stealth and weaponry make it a nightmare for Russian submarines prowling the Arctic. The Northern Fleet certainly isn't thrilled by these advancements, feeling the pressure mounting in its own waters. Now, the question lingers, can BAE Systems meet the tight deadlines to bring these powerful vessels to life? If they do, it could mark the dramatic return of Britain's naval dominance, a revival of a force that once ruled the waves for centuries. Imagine the soundless glide of these frigates through frigid northern seas, their hulls engineered to slip like shadows beneath icy waves. Each ship is a silent hunter, equipped with sonar that can detect enemies miles away before even a hint of their presence reaches the ocean's surface. The air is thick with anticipation as the modern Royal Navy prepares to reclaim its legendary status. But beneath this resurgence lies a fierce competition, not just between ships and submarines, but nations locked in a game of power, technology, and survival. Will this gamble pay off, or will the tides of history sweep past Britain's ambitious naval rebirth? The outcome remains uncertain. Yet, one thing is clear, the seas are stirring, and the stage is set for a new chapter in maritime supremacy. The echoes of Britannia's glory days may soon resonate across the globe once more. The question is, will this be a triumphant comeback or a costly gamble lost beneath the waves?